Hello everyone and welcome to the Angular NgRx course. In this course we are going to cover the complete NgRx ecosystem. We are going to introduce the store architecture, the NgRx store module, NgRx effects, NgRx entity, the router store and NgRx schematics. So the whole ecosystem is going to be covered here. So without further ado, let's get started setting up our development environment. Optionally, we can install Git in our computer. This will make it easier to get the code that we will need at the beginning of each section, because each section will have a corresponding Git branch. However, this is optional. We will still be able to download the code for each section as a zip file. So a nice thing to have in your local environment, but not mandatory for this course. On the other hand, we will have to install a Node.js version. I recommend you to install the latest version of Node, so not the long-term support version that you have here. Instead, I recommend you to install the latest version. This tends to work faster and it tends to work better with front-end development tools such as the Angular CLI that we will be using throughout the course. Next, what we're going to be needing is an IDE. This course will use the WebStorm IDE from JetBrains. This is a great IDE and some of the functionalities available, but if you prefer a free IDE, notice that there is here a free 30-day trial version, but if you instead prefer a free IDE, the Visual Studio IDE from Microsoft, it's free and it's also an excellent choice. Once you have Git, Node and an IDE installed in your machine, let's head over here to the Angular University GitHub page and let's start installing the lessons code for the first section. The first thing that we need to do is to locate the code repository for this course. So if we head over here to this search box and we type NgRx, you're going to see two courses here. So this is the previous version of the course. The one that we will be covering here is the latest version of the NgRx course. It's this repository here, Angular-NgRx-course. So we are going to click into it and we're going to see here that indeed this corresponds to this version of the course. We are now going to locate the code for the initial section of the course. We are going to see here that here in the branch dropdown, we're going to see here several branches available. Right now I only have here a couple of branches. When you take the course, you will see here a lot more branches. The first section is the authentication section. 1-off. So if we select this particular branch, we are going to go ahead and get the code for the first section of the course. We can do so either by downloading this branch here as a zip file using this button, download zip, or alternatively we can copy this URL to the clipboard and we can clone this branch to our computer. One way or the other, you are going to have a folder in your computer containing the lessons code. So we are going to open that folder with an IDE. You should see here as the root folder of your IDE project, the Angular NgRx Course folder. If you have used the download a zip file option, you already have here the code for the initial section. But if you have not, you are now on the master branch of the repository. So we can switch to the 1-off section by running the following git command. What this command does is it creates a local branch called 1-off and links it to this remote branch. One way or the other, you are going to have here the initial code for this section. Once you have the code for this initial section in place, let's go ahead and install all the libraries that we will need by running npm install. Notice that here in the root folder you have here a package-lock.json file, so this means that the dependencies that you will have in your machine will be exactly the same ones that I have here, and this will help us avoid any semantic versioning issues. Once we have all the dependencies installed, we are going to go ahead and start a small backend here locally that our application is going to be using. For that, we are going to run this command npm run server. This is going to start a small express server that is running here on port localhost 9000. Having a small HTTP server running in our machine is going to allow us to have more realistic examples during the course. In another terminal that we can open here with the plus sign, we're going to go ahead and run npm start, and this is going to start the Angular CLI in development mode. Notice that we are here passing here a configuration, proxy.json configuration, and as we can see here, this is forwarding any requests, HTTP requests that start with /API to our local REST server. So this is why we will see the API data on the screen in a moment. After a while, you're going to see that your development server is running correctly on port 4200. So if we just go ahead and go to localhost 4200, we are going to have here our sample application that is not yet using NgRx Store. At this point, you have a fully working development environment and we are ready to start with our NgRx course. So let's go ahead and do a quick guided tour of this small sample application that we have here. Let's talk about some of the problems that it has, and let's talk about what is NgRx, what is the centralized store solution, and how does that solution help solve some of the problems that this sample application currently has. This is coming right up in the next lesson.